rival. These splits were unbelievable.
And now catching Caleb Brunson. Strollers go. This was all Orion Tickman.
This is Edie Ledecky.
Leon Marchand, megastar of these Paris Olympics.
What's going on, swim fans? Welcome back to the Olympic broadcast. It is day number 2. The swimming competition is complete. This is a 9-day competition. Here we're going to give you event by event recaps. I'm going to pull the results on the screen. While I do that, go ahead and let me know in the comments, in the live stream, where you guys are joining me from. This is an engaged community. People are tuning in from all over the world, and we had some very exciting races that I'm so thrilled to walk through with you guys. Now, the big drama that is going on between the United States and Australia continues. What I just put right here on the screen is the total medal count from the last Olympics. So this was Tokyo 2020. I know it was in 2021, but when you look at the Olympic medal standings from the last Olympics, just looking at swimming, this chart that you see right here is ordered by gold medals. So the United States won 11 gold medals to Australia's 9 gold medals, for a total of 30 medals for the United States, 20 for Australia. Now, for the first time in multiple decades at the World Championships earlier this year, Australia won more gold medals than the United States. And I made some bold statements heading into these Olympics that the United States would win more gold medals than Australia. After 2 days of competition, Australia is in the lead for the gold medal count. Now, like I said, this is a 9-day competition, and there is plenty more action to be had, but just wanted to give you guys an update. And by the end of the session, I'm going to share with you where we stand in medal count between those heavy hitter countries. Today, we are going to go over some of the big events of the competition, kicking off with the men's 400 individual medley, where we saw France's very own Leon Marchand take on the world in his home country. He's the world record holder. Then we had the women's 100 butterfly, the men's 200 free semifinal, the women's 100 breaststroke semifinal, the semifinal of the men's 100 back. Then the final of the night was the men's 100 meter breaststroke. And then we finished off with 2 heats of the women's 200 freestyle. That was the semifinals. So we're going to go ahead and break into the results, but let's go ahead and get a read on where everyone is joining me from. There we go. What's going on from the USA? Canada is in the house. Marchand, we'll talk about Marchand in just a little bit. What's going on? Assalamu alaikum. Hello from Italy. California is in the house. Welcome, welcome. Marlene, this is so exciting to have all of you guys. I'm going to pull up some comments when we look at the results. We're going to have a very engaged and detailed conversation. I know a lot of talk has been about the pool and why the times maybe aren't as fast. And towards the end of this session, I'm actually going to share with you guys my honest take, having been to a bunch of international competitions, what might be different about this one, what is going on with the trends, why are the swimmers not going as fast as we think they can go. And without further ado, let's go ahead and pull in the comments. Hello from South Korea. Ooh, what time is it in South Korea? We have a global audience here. This is super. So let me go ahead and pull up the results. I have them right here, and we're going to go through them. And we kicked off with a big bang. It was Leon Marchand, all him, in this 400 IM. He had the loudest walkout, I think, of any Olympic final that I've ever heard or seen, anything like that. The entire stadium, 15,000 people, were on their feet when this guy walked out. And for good reason. He is the world record holder. He is not the defending Olympic champion. I believe he was 11th in the Tokyo Olympics. But when you look at this dominance and you look at that split right there. Oh, I just realized I got to take this medal count off of it. When you look at that time, 4:02.95. Now his world record, prior world record, was a you can't read that, 02.50. And that time right there is right on point. Now, when you look at his splits, I mean, look at the differential between first and second, first of all. He absolutely obliterated the field. We're going to go 100 by 100. I was cheering so loud for him to break the world record. I made the statement that he was going to go under 4 minutes. I think that sounds a little outlandish now when you see how fast all the swimmers are going in all the events. But nonetheless, to go a 4:02 again, still a very solid swim. And he took it out like an absolute train. When you look at the splits, let's go ahead and break this down split by split. When he took out the first 50, right, he was out in a 25.1. Wow. At the 100 mark, he took it out in a 54.3. And let me show you what the world record splits were. These are his very own world record splits. He took it out in a 54.6 when he broke the world record just a year ago. So he was out super fast on the butterfly. Maybe he paid for it on that first 50 because he took it out too fast, but that's his style. He likes to take it out like an absolute train. Then moving over to the backstroke, he was 31.3, 31.0. Now, if you guys are, age group swimmers, or you swim this event, or you want to be good at the 400 IM, this is a case study in how you swim the 400 IM. If you notice the splits, he was basically negative split all of it. So 31.0 is faster than 31.3, which means the second 50 is faster than the first 50 of that stroke. And if we move into the breaststroke, he is the best breaststroker in the world. Again, he negative split it. He was faster on the second 50 compared to second. I mean, just look at the other splits in the field, right? The guy is splitting 33s, and everyone else is 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 36, 35, 134.7 in there. But I mean, the fact that he was able to split a 107 on the breaststroke, this is absolutely incredible. This is so much faster than we've ever seen anyone do the 400 IM in the breaststroke leg. It's his best event. Then we go into the freestyle, and he didn't have the fastest freestyle split here at the end. He was definitely dying. But if you look at these splits, I mean, going into it at 333.9, he was definitely on pace for a 401. I mean, that's definitely 401, but we got to work on that last 50. Now, I know I'm not here giving the commentary from the coach perspective, but that's obviously a room for improvement when he's going to go under 4 minutes. And I believe he will go under 4 minutes within the next 4 years. And it's probably going to happen, a little bit of improvement everywhere, but we're probably going to see it there at the very end. Now, let me go ahead and clear up all these numbers that I just drew. And what you can see, the differential right there, look at the spread. He won by 5.67 seconds. Now, I don't want to completely disregard the other swimmers in the field because we had some amazing athletes that competed. We had Japan coming in second, Carson Foster for the United States coming in third. It's important to remember that the defending Olympic medalist from the United States, Chase Kalish, he did not even qualify for this final. He swam at the Olympics, but he did not qualify for the final. And that just goes to show at the Olympics, it's not just the final. You've got to qualify from the prelims to the final. In the 400s and up, they only do prelim final. In the 200s and down, it's a prelim swim, a semifinal swim, and then a final swim on top of all of that. Now let's go ahead. I'm going to leave the results up right here, and I am going to pull on some commentary, or you guys are going to give me some commentary. Hello, Marlene. He had established such a large lead by then, it didn't matter. What a beast. Absolutely. This is an incredible split. Referring to that 107 right there, that is really untouchable, right? No one in the world is anything close to this guy. And we're going to see him in the 200 IM, the 200 butterfly, and the 200 breaststroke. So we're going to see him put it together. And this is just absolutely stellar to see that level of athleticism. And not only that, but the guy is from France. So after the race, I saw in the video, he's just running around giving a high five to like everyone in the stadium, hugging them. Everyone is so prideful. And that's really what the Olympics is all about. And Michael Phelps, despite winning this event at multiple Olympics and having dominance for nearly 20 years in this event, he never got to win the gold medal in his home country of the United States. And Leon Marchand had the opportunity to do that here tonight in Paris. And that is absolutely amazing. So we're going to go ahead and keep the comments rolling. So if you guys want to engage in the chat, or if you're watching this after the fact that it was live, let me know in the comments of the video. We're going to keep things moving because we have a ton of events that we need to get through. Next event was the women's 100 butterfly. This was the final, and it was the Americans, USA, with the 1-2 punch. Absolutely incredible. You had Tori Husk taking it out like a champ in 25.6. Gretchen Walsh was right there. She is the world record holder. She was 25.4. And at the very finish, it came down to a touch. Look at the difference between first and second place. 0.04. If you look at the overhead footage, when I do an analysis on this in a couple of weeks, you'll be able to see it. but they are coming in stroke for stroke into the finish, and it is almost the slimmest of margins. I mean, just think about what .04 looks like, right? So I have my iPad right here. It's literally this much. This is the difference between Olympic gold and Olympic silver at these Paris 2024 games. That's how close it was. Absolutely insane. All right, I got a few questions here about this race. Maybe something else. Let's go ahead and answer it. Well, we got a Marchand question. May as well answer it. Do you think he'll win the 200 breaststroke with the likes of Chin, Stubblety Cook, and everyone else? All right, I'm going to come back to this question because we have the men's 100 breaststroke later, and I think that makes more sense for commentary. Ferris' predictions were wild. You know what? I still stand by my predictions because it's not my problem that all of them went slow in every single event. I mean, even in this event right here, yes, 55.5 and 55.6 is pretty fast, but Gretchen Walsh went 55.1 like a month ago. Like, I was there at the pool. So literally everyone just gained time. So yeah, I think under 4 minutes is still a possibility. It just didn't happen here at the Olympics. And even for this event and the other events that we'll look at, the times are not really fast. And I already hinted at it. I will explain why I think the times are not fast at these Olympics compared to what our expectations were going into it. I will share with that when we're all said and done. So stay tuned for that. Gretchen did amazing, but Tori had something to prove, and she proved it. 100%. This is absolutely what happened. I mean, Tori Husk was on the relay. Both of these ladies were on the relay last night, and they put down some pretty solid times. But Tori Husk actually put down, I believe, a 52.0, and that was probably a lifetime best for her. She has something to prove, and if you guys aren't as familiar with the Olympic story here, Tori Husk was in 4th place in this event at the Olympics last time. So in Tokyo, she literally was 1 place off of the podium, and to come back at the next Olympics and then win it, in the interview, she was emotional, and you can only imagine because she literally didn't get on the podium, and now she won the event, and she was not expected to win this event. The person expected to win this event was Gretchen Walsh. That is absolutely the crowd favorite. I would have expected Gretchen to win this event. She broke the world record a month ago. She had an insane NCAA season in the United States. So obviously I would have thought she would go like a 54. I actually thought, don't call me crazy, I thought she'd be a 54 mid. Now, we can't say this is an upset or whatever because the United States still went 1-2 in this event and a Chinese swimmer sliding in there. But if you look at the next best swimmer from Australia, remember our gold medal rivalry, Australia didn't get on the podium, and this was 2 more medals for the United States. Yeah, pretty wild. We're going to come back to my predictions were wild here. We're going to go over the top races for the session at the end of the session for tomorrow. And then why did Gretchen lose to Tori? Like I said, guys, it was the slimmest of margins. It was literally this much, 0.04. They're great competitors, great athletes. Let's go ahead and keep this thing moving because I want to make sure we get to all the events. Our next event was the semifinal of the 200 freestyle. And who do we have up here? We have the top swimmer in the world heading into these Olympics in the 200 free, and that's David Popovic of Romania. The guy popped onto the scene, dropping what are incredible times in the 100 freestyle and the 200 freestyle from just a few years ago. He's still a young swimmer, and if you guys are an age group swimmer, or if you're learning how to improve your freestyle, I'll say it now. For mid-distance freestyle, this guy has the best stroke technique in the world. He reminds me a lot of one of the greatest swimmer of all time, Michael Phelps. If you look at how they swim, and I'm talking about David Popovic, this guy right here, this swimmer, he swims just like Michael Phelps. The only difference from a technical perspective of Popovic compared to Michael Phelps is Michael Phelps had a little bit more oomph with his kick. He had a little bit stronger of a foundation. That's why Michael Phelps had incredible walls. He pushes off the wall. He dolphin kicks like 15 meters underwater, 10 meters underwater. Popovic doesn't have that. Popovic has more over water speed than Michael Phelps. Let me repeat that again. David Popovic, the #1 time heading into tomorrow's final in this event, he has more speed than Michael Phelps. He's the second fastest swimmer of all time in the 100 freestyle, and he is headed in to this Olympic final favorited to win it. Again, when you look at how he swam this, he was 24.1, 26.7, 26.7, 26.9. He probably let off the gas pedal a little bit on that last 50. He probably would have been 26.5, 26.6 if he just pushed it a little bit harder. He knew he didn't need to because the semifinal swim, and as long as he doesn't get 5th place, he's going to make it in the final. But again, if you're learning how to swim this event, Go watch the analysis that I did on this guy. He's only born September. He's only born September 2004. The guy is young. He's a boy compared to men. I mean, look at this guy, born 1997, right? He is racing with much older swimmers, and he is punching above his weight class. Literally, the guy is very thin. He's not a big, bulky swimmer. His mechanics are very fluid. The way he enters the water is super, super clean and smooth. And when you look at how he executes the race, and you look at the split times, it's a work of art. And we're going to see tomorrow, he's going to need to be out and maintain a lot stronger if he's going to go after a best time. Maybe a world record. I don't think so, but we might see it. He's looking pretty sharp. Tomorrow, what I expect in this event, I expect him to go about the same on that first 50. He really jumped on it, and I want to see him holding 26 low on every single 50. If he does that, he'll chop a second and a half off his time, and that's how he's going to go a best time. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comments and the chat. When we round out the field, overall the times were really not that impressive. Top 8 to get in, it was a 145.8. So about what we expected. Again, the times at this meet have not been very fast, but rounding out the field, we have some expected characters from Great Britain, from Germany, from Australia. GB, Team GB has 2 swimmers in there, so we'll see how they did. All right, let's take a look at the chat, what was happening here. Yeah, Hobson came in clutch. He really put it together there at the end. And we're going to see what happens tomorrow. We are going to see what happens tomorrow. Awesome, guys. Yeah, let me know in the comments. You guys have at it in the comments. Let's keep this thing moving because we have a lot of events. And I'm going to talk about why everyone's swimming so slow. It sounds depressing. It's like the Olympics. Everyone's going so fast, so hype. Yeah, but they're not going that fast, so we got to be real here. All right, the women's 100 breaststroke semifinal. Now, a lot of things to dissect from a technical perspective, but I know you guys are here for the headliners. So let's take a look at Tatiana. Now, she is from South Africa. Now, if you don't recognize her name, she got married. And so this is a different last name than maybe we're familiar. I believe her last name, it was Tatiana Shoemaker, something like that. Now she has a new last name. So this is Tatiana Smith that we're rolling with. Still the same swimmer. Incredible Olympic performance, Olympic medalist, all that good stuff. Now, she was born 1997, so she's been around the block a little bit. She's been through these Olympic games. She knows what to expect. And I just want to touch on her for a second. I think she has a lot more in the tank. She went a 105.0, but let me tell you something. Into the finish of this race, she literally took, I don't even want to call it a baby stroke. She was already at the wall, and I don't even know why she took another stroke. So if she had just timed the finish better, we'd be looking at a 104.7, 104.8. Just by timing the finish, like 2 strokes out from the wall. What that makes me feel is she has a lot more in the tank because she looked pretty smooth, even though she came back in a 34.3. And if you look at all the other splits, none of the other swimmers were able to do that. So she was really strong on that second 50, and I don't think anyone's really going to be able to contend with that. Now you look at who else was swimming in this field. Lily King, right? Olympic gold medalist. We got to keep an eye on her. She was 105.6. When we got a tie right here. Oh, that's the place. My bad. So top 8 right here. This is the top 8. I'm going to draw a line and extend it. So to get into the top 8, it took a 106.2. I think this is a little bit more depth than maybe we saw on the men's side. We'll talk about the men's 100 breaststroke a little bit later. One story to keep an eye on, prior gold medalist, I believe from 2016. She's all the way down here in 11th place. She took it out in a 30.8, but then paid the price at the end, 36.0. This is a prior gold medalist in this event from Lithuania, and she just fell off the bandwagon. And you can't do that. You can't have a 5.2 second spread in the 100 breaststroke. You look at the top swimmers up here. You look at the differential between the first 50 and the second 50, and it really should only be about 3.5, 4 seconds. Anything more than 4 seconds, 4.5 seconds, you're dying. You can't have 5 seconds. The best swimmers in the world are under 4 seconds, the differential between the first 50 and the second 50. 3.5 seconds is ideal. Anything over 4, it means we're not hanging on or taking it out too fast. And pacing 100 long course is so difficult, even at the top level. And that's how you can see some of these top swimmers miss the finish or go out too fast and die. This is the Olympic semifinal after all. If you don't make it in the final, you're not going to be able to swim in the final anyway. So let's go ahead and leave this splits on the screen, and I'll pull on some of your comments over here. Good question. Wondering if Lily King will change her name too. If you don't know, Lily King actually got proposed to at the U.S. Olympic trials in Indianapolis last month. Her boyfriend was literally right there, and that was pretty crazy. Love the swimming events at the Olympics. Andrew, my man, hope you're doing well. I agree with you. The Olympics doing Irish Sea. I was going to ask where you're from, and that's, yeah, totally. Get some other comments here on the screen. Not many Canadian men in the Olympics. Wonder why I'm too old. Hey, guys, it's never too late for any of us. We all have the opportunity to get in there and race. All right, let's keep this thing moving. Okay. Oh, shoot, I just noticed my computer battery is about to die. So we're going to keep things moving because we ain't got time for anything else. Next event is, what do we got here? This is the semifinal of Backstroke. Big shocker here. We got Ryan Murphy from the United States. He just got in there at 5th, but you know what was crazy? He got 5th in his heat. And so when you think about, well, where are these swimmers going to come from, or 4th in his heat, whatever it was, look at this. It took a 52.9 to make it in. Look at all these guys bunched up here, right here. 52.58, 52.63, 52.63, 52.72, 52.75, 52.85, 52.95. Very, very close. And the American superstar on the relay with a 46.7 split last night, he does not qualify. He is in 11th. Ouch. 11th. So that is the men's 100 backstroke. We'll see the final tomorrow. Very excited about that because we're going to see some top swimmers. I mean, Chinese swimmer is the #1 seed heading into that. And it's going to be a good one. All right, we have the men's 100 breaststroke. Now, if you guys know me, you've been following me for a while, you know this is my main event. I love swimming the 100 breaststroke long course. It's a good one. Now, here's the challenge. We had an exciting race into the finish. No question about it. Look at these times. Look how close they are. I don't know if I've ever seen a 100 breaststroke where you have 0.3 or less separating 6 people. Look at this. 1st through 6th, 0.29. And remember, only the top 3 get on the podium. And we had Adam Peaty, the 2-time Olympic defending champion in this event. He won in Tokyo. He won in Rio. He's been a 56.8. Now, when you look at the times, wow, they're all really slow. Why do they all go slow? But forget about the times for a second. This was a race for the record books. Absolutely insane to see how close these guys were. And there was a question, or there was a comment about, you know, who's going to win. You know, Petey's been faster. All these guys have been faster. And, you know, I really think Leon Marchand is going to have something to say about it in the 200 breaststroke. Because when you see what these guys did, when you look at Kaminga, when you look at Nick Fink was strong, but only went 59.0. It's really difficult to compete with a guy who just split a 107 on the breaststroke in the 400 IM. Let that thing sink in for a second, right? These were incredible swims, but the times weren't there, and we're going to see some epic battles in other events because the times aren't going to be there to support it. So let's go ahead and keep things moving because, like I said, we're on a time crunch here. Next event is the women's 200 freestyle semifinal, and of course, we have Titmus right there on top. We saw her beat Katie Ledecky last night in the 400 free, and she looked really sharp, really in control. I'm really excited about it. Gemmel was unfortunately out of that top 8. Remember, top 8 make it into the final, and the time it took was a 1:56. I mean, these times right here, I mean, these ladies, congratulations for making it to the Olympics. Times are not that fast. I don't know what else to tell you, but we're going to keep an eye on these top ladies right here because that is where the magic is going to happen. It is going to be an incredible atmosphere. We got some comments about the pool. I know I'm going to have to dive into this topic in more detail in a future video. Oh, I got 2 of me. So if you guys have enjoyed this stream, make sure you give it a like. Now, here's the secret that no one's talking about for this pool. Why are the times slow? Why are people not swimming that fast? I mean, at the end of the day, we want fast swimming. We want world records. Well, let me let you guys in on a little bit of a secret. I know it's a controversial statement. The Olympic Games are not designed for swimming to be fast. Let me rephrase that. The Olympic Games are not designed for fast swimming. It's as simple as that. There are so many variables that the Olympic Games requires that just add complexity to the swimmer schedule. For example, the Olympic Village, where people are eating, what they're eating, the bus system to go from where the athletes are staying to where they're competing, the temperature of the different environments, the changing jet lag for some of the athletes in other countries that don't have the luxury of being there for very long. All of these variables.
These splits were unbelievable.
And a catchy Caleb Brunson. Stroke is goal. This was all Orion Tickets.
This is Katie Ledecky.
Leon Marchand, megastar of these Paris Olympics.